Hey everyone, Bramflakes here with a new video. I know it's been a while, but I've decided to make a video series that just covers ranked games that are on the NA ladder, just to show off what our NA players are up to. Still not sure how to appropriately get permission, but for now I'm just going to be going through and getting permission from the winner of each game. So yeah, I won't give any spoilers and we'll just watch the game as it is, but we'll see in this game we have a bunch of people that you might recognize in this lobby. Covid, which is Homecoming, Roy, who is back to this game after playing Lost Ark for a very long time, Reprise, who is an up-and-coming Shuichi, JP is never coming, who is a smurf of somebody who I can't quite remember, Silent Farts, don't know who it is, but their name is hilarious, Two-Hand Fiora player, Benson, and Mesmerizing, both on the Nikki, going different routes though, so we have some interesting variety going on. Just My Luck, which is a very good play on Mai's name, obviously. Twitch TV Q1 Iron, which is the redeemed player from South America, so this player is playing with a lot of pigs, so just keep that in mind when we watch them play. Frankie Doodle, who is a Sylvia one-trick these days, was a Jackie player for a very long time, but has now since swapped to Sylvia. Terrible Game, who I'm assuming is a Smurf, playing Aiden. Malva 999, who is playing Dylan, going the interesting route, or rather the new route that was developed with Radar that can test Cemetery Tree, so it'll be exciting to see how they perform. Esther, who is on the Laura. I think Laura has been a favorite pick of Esther these days, so we'll be excited to see what they do with it. Backwoods, which was CS Major, who was an Emma main back in the day, if you recognize that name, has now since changed their names to Backwoods, which is a little more stylistic, and is now playing Amp Jan. Sicella, who is playing, my bad, Miyosaki, who is playing Sicella, gonna be going also for tree contested build with the Uma Shuriken and a bunch of items that are from the cemetery area. Fiery Nachos, who is playing Leon, going the standard Leon route that makes two weapons from Doc. I think sometimes gets the bears from here. It depends on what you're going for. Sometimes you go for the bears in full clear, sometimes you go for Sentry. It's really up to you what you want to do. And then Politics player, who is McSpeedy. Actually get our first little scuffle of the game, where McSpeedy does hop onto the Tia very briefly, just get some free mastery. Nothing too interesting gonna happen there, but, you know, Yuki is one of those characters that spikes very early, very quickly, so it's always a good idea to take some free mastery when you can get it. Obviously, his SP is kind of low, so you won't want to take too many fights while he can. But with that said, we do have a fight in Cemetery Tree between the Jan and Dial-In. Dial-In gonna be going for some clean damage onto the Jan, who isn't quite finished with their build. They are looking to finish the ice and drop near, but Malva isn't gonna let the Jan quite finish. A nice knockup from Backwoods will mean that they will be able to get away from Malva. So for now, they'll be just resetting. We will see here that there's a little scuffle between the Fiora as well. In Temple, we do see the Nikki, one of the Nikki is being chased by Mizroy, who is on Jenny. Unfortunately, they will be running into multiple players, and this Mai player will be aggressing onto Mesmerizing here. Gonna be trying to take them down as they are very low. 3 pins means that they're always will do a lot of damage, barely missing the taunt, which means that unfortunately this kill might get away. But Diamond Shard gonna be slowing the Nikki a lot. Gonna be auto-attacking into the parry, barely leaving with 20 HP, and Mesmerizing will get out due to the abuse of the speed gates back here. Cemetery is kind of heating up as Malva is once again jumping onto Backwoods here. Still hasn't finished his glove, as I think he is trying to greed for the Cemetery Tree, which is very, very greedy to say the least. You do see Malva beginning to take the tree. Nice crits from them, and Backwoods will be starting the fight and ulting. Malva will be the person targeted by both players, but Backwoods is now in the middle. Fiery Nacho is going to knock him up and ult him into the wall, executing him, and Malva will be fighting the Leon on top of his pools. Never a good idea, as he will be the next to go down to actually Roy popping in, but Fiery Nachos will be taking the kill, thankfully. We will be missing barely a kill on Esther back here, but in the end, it looks like Fiery Nachos will be the one getting the tree, so we will see another brief scuffle here as Mesmerizing and Reprise are going to be taking a brief fight with the Tia coming in. A nice yellow paint from the Tia. Going to be silencing the Shoichi. He's going to take massive amounts of damage. And I think over here we're going to have Hovid be caught by the Nikki on the teleport. This will be Benson, not Mesmerizing. And he's going to monkey wire over the wall. Nikki will use her Q to chase, but unfortunately will not be catching up quite up to them with that. So Hovid will be getting out with their lives intact. We see another fight with Reprise. Gonna be jumping on the Tia this time. Will be silenced, so taking some massive damage. The blue paint unfortunately completely missing, but the dagger ultimate will be coming out. Another root coming out. The ultimate just popping out the zone, and the Tia does have her work cut out for her as the Shoshi is on top of her. Gonna be auto attacking. So much damage coming out. Dagger skill will be used to try and catch up. A nice blue will be rooting them, and I think that means Tia will almost get out of there. We'll see if the Shochi can catch up. Looks like they won't quite be able to get there. After all is said and done, the Shochi does get a massive amount of mastery from that. And this is a Tia that didn't even have their full build out, so very lucky for them to get out. It is day 1 now, so we do have Alpha being taken by Meek Speedy on Beach, so a nice little upgrade for them. Probably going to be going for the little helm headpiece, and we'll see that there is going to be a fight here with Roy. I think he yoinked the meteor from the red zone, and the Fiora was trying to punish them. Roy will to burn ultimate. Very scary since he has no passive charge, and he will barely get out. Mesmerizing is going to be fighting the Cicella rather over here. Nice parry will mean to get out. And Frankie Doodle will be boxing Benson in Forest. The bike comes out. A nice knockback by Benson. Will do a little bit of damage, but unfortunately without rage charge, they will not be able to ult them. Actually already using ult, so Frankie was going to be fine almost no matter what at that point. We see one of the Nadines going to be trying to fight the Aiden over here. Nice damage, and skill shots from the Aiden will allow them to auto and get the the skill shot off, but ultimate will be totally whiffing, which means that the Aiden, actually landing his E, which allows him to gap close, and now the Nadine does have an Aiden on top of her. Nice parry, will be eating a lot of damage initially. Another Q. The E is available, so that means the Aiden can jump back onto the Nadine. Slower attack speed is kind of awkward, and we'll have to see if the Aiden can catch up. He has no more E, and that means the Nadine will barely be able to get out at the last moment. So we'll have to see what happens. If anyone can like end this fight. Actually, Q and Iron gonna be running up to try and finish the fight off, but Meek Speedy will be finding him on top of a very unfortunate corner, as we'll see if the Monkey Wire is available. Will be available, but I think Meek Speedy will be continue to chase the Nadine. They have a chicken here for the DS skill, which they will use to prep. We'll use the second part to dash up after they recharge there. Nice slide over, and that will be the end of Q1 Iron, unfortunately, as one of the Nadines does go down in the end. You see another fight between Benson and Frankie Doodle and Doc. I'm not sure if anything's going to come up from this because Nikki is such a good character for getting away for the most part, but looks like nothing will happen, just a little mastery trade. As Hospital Street is coming up soon, we do see a fight beginning over here. Tia getting some nice initial damage, but missing a lot of her abilities as the Lennox is starting to run up. The shield blocking a lot of the damage from the Tia player, and we'll see if anyone ends up getting this tree. We do see Reprise starting to creep onto the Lennox. Nice, every ability landing, the ultimate completely whiffing. And now Silent Force is actually the target, as Fiery Nachos will be attacking the Lennox player. Yellow from Tia gonna be missing, but nice vision range, going to be getting a heal and move speed to bat skill the Lennox back into the Leon, but unfortunately it looks like the Shoichi will actually be the one getting a kill onto the Leon, or on the Lennox, and the Tia will be getting killed by the Leon. And we do see Roy will be going to finish off Fiery Nachos in the corner, but we'll see if he actually gets it off. A nice combo, whipping the knockback from the carpet, and the Dog Dive will be missing from Fiery Nachos, which probably means he'll be going down to the last auto at the very end. A lot of chaos happening. In the end, the tree doesn't even get taken by Roy. I believe Benson was the one who took it, but he is kind of cornered here. Miyazaki will be finding Nikki. Nice start to the fight, a nice pullback and stun. And Roy might find Benson here. He hears the sounds, but not too much fight happening in the end. Looks like there was a small fight between Mesmerizing and the Fiora here, but they will be ending that fight just with a small reset. So nothing too interesting. We finally do have a quick break in the game, as there's no more objectives to be fought, and the state of the game is a lot quieter. We do see a lot of people in dock, so we can actually go over there to see if there's gonna be a fight that happens. I'm not really sure if there will be, but with that said, there has been a very quiet player on the map who does scale the later the game goes, and that is Hovid. They have 48 farm 9 minutes into the game, which means that they almost already have 150 stacks on their passive, which is a massive amount of farm, especially with the changes. Actually, we do see Roy and quite low in the corner here, and Reprise is jumping to Sicela missing a lot of that fight, but it looks like the Sicela will be able to save herself with Girl in the Bubble. Another fight happening between the Fiora and the Nikki. Nice parry, nice stun. Gotta be getting the recast, and a lot of damage. Oh my gosh, parrying and predicting the ultimate from the Fiora will be landing them that kill, as we barely miss another fight between Benson and the Aiden. Looks like they just backed up and reset. Looks like Speedy will be finding Mesmerizing after his sick fight, and looks like Mesmerizing will be able to barely get out of there. As we see, FrankieDoodle is half HP from fighting bears alone. Thankfully for him, no one is checking the bears, so he does not get punished for being dropped so low. And we do see someone teleporting around to McSpeedy. The other Nikki now looking for a boxing match, but McSpeedy will be backing up, not letting, I think that was Benson, quite get there in time. So we do have two Nikkis now on top of a Mega. One with both with Lich Grasp actually, or I think it's called Permafrost these days. So they are quite farmed and a little fed, but one of them is going a more tanky style, which is Benson, and the other one is going more the traditional spellcasting CR style, which is Mesmerizing. So once again, we'll try and keep our focus on the Omega. Looks like Benson will be getting aggressed on by the Yuki, and okay, the fun up does work, so he actually gets the cut. The second part, barely doing any damage, and he probably will get this last hit. They will have to chase through red. The Dashing Gentleman will be available any moment now. We'll see if Benson can actually parry this and get out of there. Okay, parry does come out, but goes right into Benson. Unfortunately, will take the damage. FrankieDoodle will now be charging onto McSpeedy here. Let's see if he can actually get away. The D1 getting cancelled, and oh my gosh, we do see a kill by on the other Nikki by Mizro in the corner, but we have something more pressing as we have to see if the Yuki actually gets away. The bike does come out, which means it's gonna be really hard to run away, and actually dashing straight through the Sylvia, missing the tire, and they don't have any fuel left to catch up, and that means McSpeedy will get out for free. And in the meantime, we see the Shoichi taking the Omega basically for free here, which is a huge power spike for the Shoichi player, because I believe they would love to get a free auto arms from this. We do see the Sylvia coming up, but again with no fuel. Not very many options for FrankieDoodle to really punish anyone that has burned cooldowns. Sylvia is a very powerful character when she has her full fuel gauge up, but without it, her options are very limited. She can basically only stay in ranged form, and it's not really the best time for her, unfortunately. We do see Roy kind of poking out with the Sicela here. They are both preparing for Wicklund to spawn, and we'll just see if this ends up coming out to anything, because these are both ranged switching characters that really take a lot of damage from the other person. We see one Q from Yosaki with Red Sprite taking so much damage. A nice stun. Caltross will be coming out just a little bit late because Yosaki probably didn't think they would land it. And Roy is already half HP with the Sicela who has full HP. We'll see if, okay, a lot of healing coming out from Devil's Marksman with the third auto attack. And we will see if the Sicela does end up starting Wick. Looks like she's still playing it very, very safe. So Roy will be able to get the full reset with full HP. And potentially look for a rematch with this Sicela player who does have Death Rune, which is so much percent true damage with Hex. And we do see the combo coming out once again. Autos will be flying out. Gonna try to get a passive auto, and will be using her ultimate. We'll see if she shields it herself. Gonna be doing nearly 400 damage to herself and bringing Roy so low. Roy doesn't have passive. Roy's basically dead to a single Q pass through and is trying to rat and get some rest in. Looks like it will be working out as Sicela finds his hiding spot. Let's see if he turns around. One auto, the ultimate coming out. This is an empowered auto. The three autos taking Sicela so low as the Q. The spotlight ends up taking out the Sicela completely. This character was just nerfed in a hotfix, as we see. FrankieDoodle does die in the hometown of Hovid, but oh my god, Jenny had her damage hit so hard in the hotfix, and she still basically one-shot the Sicela, who had a decent amount of armor and HP. And with that, it looks like there's no one else in Avenue to contest Mizroy for the Wicklund, and with Devil's Marksman, they kill Wicklund so fast with so much safety, even with, again, the passive nerf. I see so much HP being refunded, and yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite catch how the Sicela or the Sylvia died in archery range, but Ovid, again, with 80 farm at 13, nearly 14 minutes and 240 passive stacks means that he is very, very happy with where he's sitting. And with all that said, okay, the Shoichi will be jumping onto Mizroy. Mizroy does have his passive, so this death is technically free. The last auto will be getting him down, and the Shoichi actually will be running. Let's see if the Shoichi had any cameras. No cameras, and Politics player will be finding the Shoichi after he burned all of his cooldowns. Nice D-skill will be allowing him to chase the the Diamond Shark will be spelling doom for the Shoichi as it slows him and makes sure that he won't be able to run away. And it looks like, oh my god, okay, it looks like the Yuki player got the VF blood sample from the corpse. So Roy didn't actually use that, and All-6 player does have the Burgundy prep, so I don't know if that was lazy play or if that was just Roy not having the inventory for the VF at the time, but he does end up getting it, and I think Roy understands that Meek Speedy does have the item, so he's going to be trying to contest them. A nice dash over the wall, full combo, basically one-shotting the Meek Speedy through his Diamond Shard. One less auto attack or Spotlight will do them in. Oh, and little dash there. We do see Hovid at half HP. It looks like he got into a little scuffle with the Mai, who has no kills but so many RNG items. This is 2 Meteorites, a Mithril, and a Force Core for the Mai. A lot of transition items without really doing much on the map. I think this is the first time since the beginning of the game where we've actually looked at the Mai. She has 230 armor when she has her W available, nearly 200 without it, so this is a very, very tanky character. Let's see if she actually do anything with that later into the game, because if you didn't know, her pins scale her auto attack damage off her defense. So when she has maxed out pins, she's doing nearly 50% of her defense per auto attack. So she gains some insane amount of offensive power. Just some checkups on the players. Hovid, otherwise known as Hoko, hasn't really gained much farm since the last time we saw him. He is at 250 stacks, and we do see Roy actually over here. Okay, the ultimate will be starting out immediately, trying to zone out Roy. The D skill, pistol skill for the movement speed from Roy will be used to respect it. Okay, the bullseye barely whiffing as Hoko will be chasing Roy without any ultimate charges left. He attacks so fast because he has 66% attack speed from just mithril items. Both of these items have had their attack speed incredibly buffed in the past few patches, so without even radar, Hoko is at 2.11 attack speed without radar. That is absolutely insane. That's so much attack speed. I didn't realize that they buffed it that much, and Roy, unfortunately, will have to respect all that damage output despite it being so far ahead. He has almost every transition item that Jenny wants, and he even has 3 more in his inventory just, I guess, to deny them, because I guess it looks like Halo does less damage than Imperial Virginette, which I'm assuming Roy knows the math better than I do, but I feel like Halo is just such a good item to have at all times. Okay, Oko now has Tellurian Timepiece on him as well, which gives him even more attack speed, and the Spell Shield just as a defensive measure, as Avenue will be our last zone. So that'll be really good just to deny the initial impact from a third party. We'll see who ends up fighting. Roy does still have Wicklund available, so the Spotlight does almost 400 damage. Okay, it looks like Roy and Terrible Game will be starting a fight again. Wicklund doing so much residual damage despite not many abilities being hit. Roy basically hit a singular Spotlight and did more damage than an auto attack from the Aiden, which is absolutely crazy. But yes, we will have a Smart Bomb kind of guarding Roy. He does have one more Smart Bomb left. He's just looking for any easy engagement, as all the characters, all the players are just kind of sitting around, and every character has so many transition items in their inventory. Not one of these players doesn't have at least 4 transition items, whether that's in their inventory or is being held, as we see Hoko now taking off the sheath for, or rather taking the Tellurian Timepiece for the sheath. I wonder if that's so that he can keep the Spell Shield available, or just wants the HP, because he already has a lot of armor. Okay, we will see Roy getting hit. Oh my god, that's so much damage just from one wolf and 1 bullseye. We'll see if Hoko can get this last ability off. That is, okay, the last bullseye barely tags Roy. The passive barely falling off, and that is one of the most dead players in the game being killed off screen. You will see a fight between the Aiden and the Mai. Okay, Mai does really well into auto attackers, so this is quite the unfavored matchup for the Aiden. He will be using ultimate. Law of true damage being dealt. Ultimate will land, but won't be taking it because they respect the Mai, and so after all is said and done, both players have used their ultimates, which both have very long cooldowns, and it looks like the Mai is very, very favored against the Aiden, and we'll see if this ends up being the final zone of choice, because if the Aiden wants, he can just sit in this final zone as long as he wants to, and it looks like Hoko will be quietly looting Roy's body, looking for the items that he potentially wants. Will be transitioning into the Cabana and the Illicit Halo that are available, as now Hoko is going to be bow skilling to check the bush is safe. Going to be selecting the Mai as his target. We'll see if the Mai's defense will be enough to brave through the damage output from Hoko. A lot of all attacks. The Q still does so much damage. I guess the 200 H armor Mai. Oh my gosh, the wolves are doing 345 damage per auto attack, and this Mai, despite all of her defense, just can't withstand the barrage from the Nadim player, and the Aiden does smell his chance. I think he wants to go in while Hoko's cooldowns are down, so we'll see if he manages to take down the behemoth of the late game character. First bullseye does miss, but the Aiden can't find a way in. We'll be trying to run away. Hoko will be allowing him to back up, and I think the Aiden will be trying to go in again. Okay. Aiden will be looking for a way in, will be barely missing the E, and without the ultimate and without the E available, Aiden just has no more options to approach the very fed Nadine. It looks like Aiden will be giving up, as Homecoming will be your winner for this game. Ending with 4 kills, and all 4 of these kills, or rather 3 of these kills were from the final zone, with one of them coming from the Sylvia in the middle of the game. So I will be putting all the streamers that were in this game down in the description down below, because there are a lot of players that are in this game that stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll be trying to come back tomorrow with another one of these games, or I'll try to be doing one a day basically. So if anyone is in this game and doesn't want me to stream their ranked games, please let me know. Like, just send me a DM on Discord. I think most people know who I am these days, so if you don't like me streaming your ranked games, then, or casting your ranked games, just please let me know. Keep that in mind for the future. With that said though, thank you guys all for watching, and hope to see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.